guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video. We are in La Spezia. We're going to be cycling towards Pisa. There is a bunch of cliffside villages to the north of here, but I thought they were closer to where we are right now, and it would be an extra day to go up and then come back here. Instead of doing that, we're just going to head down the coast in a southern direction so that I can get to the ferry terminal and choose where to go in Corsica and Sardinia. I was sort of looking forward to visiting a few of those villages to the north, but it's okay. I think we're going to see some really lovely sights as we progress south along the Mediterranean. Without further ado, we're going to ride down into downtown La Spezia and then start heading. Actually, I'm looking at the map, and I don't know. Is this the Mediterranean? Is the Ligurian Sea? Is the Ligurian Sea part of the Mediterranean? Maybe not. Maybe not. It's. I don't think so. So we're not on the Mediterranean. We're on the Ligurian Sea. Ligurian. So we're gonna ride down. We'll have beautiful coastal views. Maybe I can send a drone up. There's a lot of chaos going on here with regards to military-esque installations and stuff, and so I'm not totally confident in flying around here. I don't want to lose a drone. So we're gonna head south. We're gonna see some sights. There's a lot of colors. It's very beautiful. Let's go. La Spezia, in where I am, is built on a cliffside. Hello.
Hi.
And so we have to kind of dip down so that we can reach the coast and cycle along the coast. I cycled up this road yesterday, and it was nice. Yesterday, coming out of the mountains, I realized that my brakes were wearing a little strangely, so I need to find a bike shop, get a little lube on my chain, and also pick up a set of brake pads and do a brake change, but that's neither here nor there right now. Holy moly. That is a basket full of kids. That is hilarious. La Spezia is really a beautiful city. Lots of color. It's lush green near the sea. A lot to like about it, especially me. I like warmth. I like people. I like color, and I like the water. From the pier, you can get a really good idea of the entirety of La Spezia. A lot of these hillside communities, just villas and stuff built into the hillsides. Pretty interesting. But then you come down to the port and you see all the fishing boats. Sometimes fish or squid don't stand a chance. You see like all of these halogen lamps here, and on the top deck they've got these big lamps that are like turned down. If you're in the tropics a lot, you'll notice what these fishing vessels look like, because they'll be offshore at night, and they look like a little cityscape basically on the horizon, because they're pointing all their lights down, which attracts squid. So you'll get all the squid that'll be like drawn to the light, and then these guys will just scoop them all up. I'm sure other fish are attracted to light too, but I always thought it would be interesting to take a side trip on one of these guys and spend a day or a night or whatever on a fishing yacht, working as a grunt. I thought that would be kind of fun. You know, one of my favorite shows on TV was Mike Rowe's Dirty Jobs, where he like basically went and worked the dirtiest jobs in the United States. And so he'd work like these really nasty jobs and try to show the reality of what a lot of people, you know, the social media is a lot about glamour, and so it's like the easiest route, the most luxurious route, you know, those are getting all the views. But, you know, there's plenty more people that are living the life to sustain our lives, whether it's cleaning the sewers or recycling paper or, I don't know, greasing joints on some bridge or something crazy, or fishing. And so I always thought it would be interesting to do like a Dirty Jobs, but globally, and like work as a lobster fisherman in Alaska, but at the same time as a, you know, refuse collector in China, or, you know, Cambodia rice farmer or something, you know. And I thought that would be a really interesting and fulfilling, because, you know, you get to connect with people that maybe aren't, you know, that like upper echelon of wealth, you know, the normal people. I always thought that would be a really cool concept for a show, and then I could cycle around the world connecting to different people and trying out their profession, no matter what, or how dirty or whatever it is, you know. Anyways, got to respect the people that are out there doing the dirty jobs. My chain is squeaky. I need to get some oil on this thing. These are the pilot boats. Pilot boats are interesting because these guys are extremely talented. For those of you that don't know, pilots are the drivers of the ships into specific ports. So, like, for example, you've got the cruise ships here, and you've got any of the big yachts, the big, you know, not yachts, these are like ships. The ships will relinquish control of their entire ship. That huge cruise ship will relinquish control of their helm to a pilot. No matter how bad the weather is, no matter how crazy it is, the pilot will leave here and will be driven out to the ship, way out, maybe 10 miles or 5 miles, not down too far out, depending on the inlet, basically. Because what the pilot does is he knows exactly what the terrain is, the subterranean underneath the water here. He knows exactly where the canal's the deepest. He knows exactly how to position yachts in this area. They don't concern themselves with you know, anything other than this specific area to bring ships into this port or whatever port they're working at. Obviously, most pilots are extremely experienced yachtsmen in general, and have probably retired, you know, as a captain of a ship. So they do have a lot of nautical knowledge around wherever they've sailed, and oftentimes it's all over the world. But they focus on learning about this area so that they can accept control. I mean, think about the liability that you're accepting. You know, you've got a like $100 million for that ship, you know. And so they relinquish, the captain relinquishes control to the pilot, and then the pilot in turn drives it into and docks it at the port. And he'll do this with all sorts of different ships. So whether it's a tanker or a cruise ship or a large iron freighter or something like that, he will have the ability to pilot those ships into this port. So once they, and not only dock it, but also take it out, and so he'll relinquish control back to the captain as soon as they get out of the bay here or wherever the boundary line for this area is, and then he's like, see you later, and then he climbs down a ladder. Oftentimes there's not really an easy way. Sometimes they'll actually take one of those rope ladders and he'll climb up the side of a ship from the boat, and the boat's going crazy too. I've seen some crazy videos and heard some crazy stories back when I used to work on a yacht. But and then he'll say bon voyage, and then the ship will be on its way under the direction of the original captain until they get to another port, and then another pilot ship comes with another pilot who knows that specific port to a T, and relinquishes control. So the captain of a lot of these big ships really only do the open water stuff, and then once they get close enough to wherever they're going to dock, they relinquish control to the pilot that's going to come up and take the reins. I always thought that was interesting. You got to have some confidence, man, balls of steel, to accept the reins of a ship that you don't have direct knowledge of and say, because it's funny because the pilot will go up into the pilot house and say, hey guys, and if the guys have never, the entire crew has to be like, all right, you're our boss now for the next hour or whatever until we get the ship in and settled. I don't know who you are, but you have all of our lives in your hands. Jayoe. All right, this is San Terenzo. San Terenzo. It's one up from Spezia. It's a little bit more laid back, a little bit more chill. That's cool. I just like the pastels, the rich pastels. When I refer to pastels, it can, like a bland pastel, that's like North Korea. North Korea was a lot of like really bland pastels. Like they painted the place pastel many years ago and it got faded, like super faded. But this is a little bit more fresh. I was thinking maybe stop for a coffee here, but it's so small. I think as quickly as we entered, we're exiting. So in Japan and even up in the north here in the mountains, it was blackbirds. You had to watch out for those blackbirds coming at your drone. But here it's seagulls and they're much louder. Ow, 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 ow. They're like screaming at their buddies. Ow, look at this. Ow, bastard. Ow, get him. It's quite funny. We're at the wrong light for this patch of buildings, which is really, really, this area is so beautiful, but the sun needs to beat down on these buildings for you to get the glow. I'm hoping that I can go over this hill and there'll be similar landscape and similar architecture there, and then I can kind of get a cool shot of the sun beating down on the pastels and everything, get a nice shot. But a nice castle here too. Hear him? Ow. Ow. Oh. So we've made a little bit of navigational error. Not a big deal, but I was thinking I could cruise up the coast all the way to Pisa. But I looked at my map, there's no way. We're gonna have to go up into the hills, catch a mountain path, and then we'll wind that mountain path over this hill. It's not so bad, it's like 400 meters or something like that, nothing too bad. But it'll take a little while to get up and over. We're really slow. That's my MO, slow going. But I'm having a good time. And then we'll get over. Pisa is not far away. And then we'll probably stay the night in Pisa and then figure out the ferry schedule. Thank you. Grazie. And then we'll take a ferry to Corsica South or Corsica North. We could even go to Sardinia. There's a lot of options. I'm not sure where to go. We could go to the tip of Corsica, and then it's a very mountainous ride over the mountains or around the coast. It would take a lot of time, a lot more time, and I might be in a hurry. Or I could hit Corsica a little bit south, ride a shorter route in Corsica, spend some more time there exploring, maybe take a day or two to edit, which would be great, and then jump to Sardinia. Or we could just jump to Sardinia and then ride more around Sardinia until my time's getting really close, and then we jump to Rome. I'll tell you what, whatever I decide to do, it seems like the weather is just, knock on wood, is really cooperating. I mean, we have a little bit of cloud cover over here, but nothing too crazy. I was expecting like mostly cloudy, drizzle. None of that. This is amazing. Thank you. All the water here is in bottles, and you have to ask if you want fizzy or not fizzy. I don't like that fizzy stuff, to be honest. All I want fizzy in is my soda. And then the Americanos, they give you the hot water. And then you put the hot water in. Oh, they put ice in my coffee. I wanted ice in my water. It's okay. Miscommunication. I said water, cafe Americano, and then I said, well, an iced coffee isn't such a bad thing on a day like today. I'll take it. It's a pleasant mistake. Cheers. Hey guys, check out my Garmin. What the heck is happening? Look at the speed. 0.5 kilometer an hour. I'm not even moving. 1.2. What the heck is going on? 9.7. What is going on with my Garmin? What are you doing? I'm just gonna pause it for a second. Maybe let it reload after I get coffee. We'll see. Look at that view. That is a view, my friends. Enjoyable. I wouldn't necessarily want to be riding up that hill, although it's pretty much what I did all day, riding up the other side, but that one just seemed a little bit steeper and steady. Anyways, we are down, and now that we are down, the rest of the day is going to be pretty flat. I wouldn't mind getting something to eat somewhere. It is already almost, it's 4:30, it's almost 5 o'clock. And we spent a lot of the day on the other side there, leaving La Spezia. But well, no regrets. It was quite nice. We have a long way to go, and but it's going to be very flat. Maybe a late one. Maybe we end at a campsite instead of a hotel. I think I've washed my clothes and myself, and I'm pretty well ready to stay somewhere that might be a little bit grimy, and then tomorrow we can get up early, have a coffee near the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and figure out our next steps. I am sort of now entertaining the thought of entering Corsica a little bit more south, as opposed to starting from the northern tip and working on my way down. There is some lilac or something in the air. Holy moly! Smell good. No, I don't know what the mountains are off to the east, but they are gorgeous. I mean, that's what I think of as mountains. Rugged, not a lot of trees on them. Got some snow up there. One of the most fulfilling jobs I've ever had in my life was working on a yacht. It really was an amazing experience. You're living on this like just luxurious mansion on the water. You're doing labor. It's hard work. It's not easy, but it exposes you to so much. You get to travel. You get to learn responsibilities. You get to, if you're lucky, hobnob with the owners and learn a little bit about capitalism and a different side of life than you've ever seen. I mean, at least me, I've never seen that sort of opulence that exists on a yacht life. I mean, you know, we're not talking millionaires. We're talking like tens of millionaires, hundreds of millionaires, like 100 million heirs, 100 million, no, lots of millions is what I'm trying to say. Lots of millions. It's like the bike path is out. Oh, this is so much different than the hills. I don't know what happened to my legs. I think from going up all day, but my pace right now on a flat is like 22 kilometers an hour, which is way above average for me. There's a lot of cyclists on this road, a lot of tour cyclists passing me by, headed that way. I bet to and from that ferry, Livorno, I think is a ferry area. You know, a lot of people using that to jump around the islands and different parts of Italy. We might make good time before it gets too dark. This has got to be one of the most satisfying rides I've had so far. I am going over some rocky bumps and up curbs and down and into traffic and on the sidewalk, and ooh, this thing is just eating it up. And I think the wind is at my back. That's why I'm going at a much better pace. All right, guys. I am moving so fast and moving so fast. It's so nice to go from 3 kilometers an hour to 24. It's like incredibly different riding. Anyways, it is 6:15. We need to find some place to eat and have a couple of drinks, because I am not really worried about finding a place for the night. There are a lot of campsites. There's a lot of cheap hotels, cheapish. There's a lot of beachfront area up until I think we got about 4 more kilometers. So I want to find a place that I can get the trike near to me. So I'm at a little strip here where they got a bunch of restaurants that sort of facing out. So if I could find a little place sort of like this one with some decent food, I can get a beer, I can get a drink, and we can sit down and have some dinner. Honestly, this area of Italy is a big surprise. It feels a lot like, I don't know, like the coast of an American beachfront area. I mean, obviously the languages are a little different, but it's got a similar vibe. And it's sort of funny because I was in Sanya in China, and once you get to the beachfront, you know, the beachfront vibe is like universal, you know. Something is rattling in this. There we go. That's better. Even coasting right now, I'm going 3.25 times faster than what I was doing up the mountain earlier today. This place looks like a winner. Actually, I kind of want to buy a few drinks, get a little relaxed, and then just kind of cruise down the rest of the beach, find a place to crash. You guys okay? Okay. This is one of those beachfront restaurants that are overpriced for being beachfront. They're cashing in on that. It's like $8-9 for a gin and tonic, but that's what you get. Look at this gin and tonic glass. Interesting. So tomorrow we're gonna see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Whatever we do, we're gonna do that. But I just got an alert that says expect rainy weather for the next 14 days. We've been pretty lucky with weather, you and me. Let's see if we can squeeze the rest of this trip out of our luck. There's a really good gin and tonic. That's a good $9 gin and tonic. Oh, I don't know what kind of gin they're using, but I don't know if it's because I had a nice long ride today or what, but that hits the spot. Ooh, that looks great. Oh my God, look at this ravioli. It's black ravioli with raw shrimp. I did ask him how big it was. He's not very big. It's fancy though, and it was 18 euro. I'm gonna have to eat it very, very slow and chew many times. My grandpa, I never met him on my mom's side. He used to chew 100 times before he swallowed. He was very, very focused on the idea of chewing your food properly. Oh, that is good though. Well, I think our luck has finally run out. The weather that we had been like just ahead of has caught up. As a matter of fact, I can look on the horizon here behind us, behind the camera, and it certainly looks like the weather is going to be rotten tomorrow. And I looked up the weather, and it's like rotten. It does say light rain, so we might get lucky with pockets of beautiful weather, but it'll be cloudy. We won't have that stark, that just beautiful, rich sunlight. Hello. But I think we've had a lot of luck so far, so I'm going to appreciate everything we've gotten. It's getting colder, so I can feel the temperature dropping quite a bit. So it's going to be a different tour as we go forward from today. I actually booked a cheap hotel just up the road, so I can drink as many gin and tonics as I like, and not have a wet trike in the morning, which will be nice. Anyways, fingers crossed, maybe tomorrow we'll have really good weather, so I'm going to continue drinking my gin and tonic, so like, subscribe, share, comment, Jayoe, and we will talk to you in the next one. Tanqueray gin and Schweppes tonic. That's the combo.